A note on positive psychology in practice. In this particular case here, the point with most of these notes is to try and talk about what I've read and what I've learned, if anything, from positive psychology, and then see how it transferred into practice, if it did. If not, why not? And what is to be done? Sort of a recorded self analysis, and hopefully, inshallah, with some uh, um, valuable information which can be used by others sometime. Maybe in the future, which belongs to artificial intelligence. I was just making a note on Solaris. It belongs to the likes of Rhea, the machine in her, the software, the artificial intelligence mentioned in Singularity, which in about 20 years from now will artificial intelligence will be able to accumulate all that mankind knows. All the brains on Earth will be no match, or just a match for this robot, machine, computer, AI, whatever that will be. Then that's another story. It's singularity. Um, but and maybe then they will analyze the mistakes and things silly, maybe some good, did by all mankind, including this kind. So yesterday I was thinking positive psychology and eudaimonia, and the need to be virtuous, the need to be um, authentic, to 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 have a model, to apply the categorical imperative, and do ethical things, and try and be just, brave, wise if possible, and applying that to events happening. And yesterday I caught the local police sleeping yet again. That's the 50th time, or I don't know, when I pass by them and see them sleeping. These guys have a strategy, and they, in many ways, work as an organized group, what they call here. Not really mafioso, but still, if we add up the money they get for doing nothing, salaries, the prejudice, the not the prejudice, I'm sorry, the damage done by eventual crime happening in the city, which they're supposed to prevent and they don't because they slip. Um, the use of these cars, which are actually abused because they take them in a field. Very often they want uh, an isolated place, and there's a field there where they can't be seen while they do this. And they've studied all the places, and they go to all places. They change, like the burglars uh, change the house with which they rob. They don't go to the same house the second day because they can be seen. People are alerted, first of all, and then there's nothing in them too. These guys make sure they don't go on the same street every time, but they come back. And so it's the car, the use of the car, the gas. They burn diesel gas, whatever it is. I don't know if it's what kind of an engine that car has. In fact, it sounds like it's diesel they use. And if you do this calculus over a period of years, I was looking yesterday on the Facebook group Collegio Uno, which I created for this, and I mean for the thing they do, these criminals, organized criminals actually, because they do it systematically over a period of 3 years. It was the first time I posted was in 2014, but I only posted after a long series of events because I thought, wow, it happened for the first time. It's a mistake. it happened again, but what can you do? It took a while. They have a small salary. Then I called their office and said, look, I don't want them to lose their job, but still tell them to stop doing it because it's too much already. And then nothing happened. And finally, like maybe it took a year, so maybe it's 4 years ago when I first saw this, thinking it's not such a big deal. Um, it's but still it's over $100,000. I'm thinking that they took from the public purse, and that's not small change. And returning on the positive psychology input, negative thing. Well, first of all, I need to love this some way. Forgiveness, they say, is necessary in the marvelous book The How of Happiness by Sonia Lubomitsky. She talks about the rules of happiness, and we need to see the three on which we need to emphasize, because not all of them apply to us. Forgiveness might not be your thing or my thing. Uh, so it's being gratitude, being grateful for what you have, optimistic. Uh, do not compare yourself with others. There's a version which says, I mean, others say, compare with people in Syria, or I have poor people across the fence there. Um, acts of kindness, random acts of kindness. Socialize. Have a strategy for coping with adversity and trauma, and forgiveness. I would stop here. There are more, but it's forgiveness, and I'm thinking, well, I did I did try, but they keep coming. It's true. It's good to forgive because then you just don't keep it. I mean, when I see this in the morning, yesterday, for instance, I make the effort. I know now that we need to, as a strategy for coping, not to just thinking, why the hell do they do that? What? I mean, why miserable SOBs and what? Santa Maria, Padre Padrone, Mamma Mia, what? Mascalzone and all that. You need to focus on something else, because you just make a soup and you just boil in it, and it's not good. It's a negative spiral, taking taking one downwards. But still, it's difficult to forgive sometimes.